Welcome back to a bit gamey and short update what I've been doing for whatever reason. Yeah, I didn't do much this month because I was mostly doing terrain, but I was doing this I don't know what to call it, a kind of fancy version of Sicily, or the kind of Norman conquest of Sicily. So I had a bunch of these what do you call them, Warhammer figures that I bought ages ago for Frostgrave, and I hadn't painted, and well, I had some of them, and my brother got me some more for it as a present. So can you see these? Kind of 12 of these. I had a box of there's glaive wraith stalkers that I got for Frostgrave as to be, I don't know what, I think it's minor demons or something like that. So I had 4 of them, and my brother got me these boxes of another box of the stalkers and these mine-shorn banshees. So that was 12 in all, and so I thought I'd make them into something for my Frostgrave Sicily thing. I was going to do in groups of 3. I've seen on some game or other, I think it was Lion Rampant or Dragon Rampant, which was a kind of a fancy version of Lion Rampant, and some of the units were in 3s, but it doesn't really matter. But I was going to do them in 3s. And they have like one of these Banshee things in the middle. That's some kind of leader, and 2 each of these glaive things. So that's going to be 4 units, those 3 boxes. No idea what they're going to be like on anything like that, the stats or anything. But I just wanted them painted, and so I got a bunch of these for the unit bases. But I didn't measure it properly. I kind of just assumed they'd be 30mm, the bases, but they're not. So they just don't fit. So I don't know if I'm going to try and scrape the holes bigger, or get slightly bigger circles. But still, so yes, so that's the theory. They'll be done. They'll be put away, and at some point I'll figure out what to do with them. But yeah, this, as an aside, it's not an important thing, but that's how I came to the idea of using MDF bases for terrain. It's because I got lots of different kinds at different times, and so might as well use them for terrain if they're not going to work for figures. But anyway, blah blah blah. I mean, it's whatever. I do like them. I'm not a big fan of Warhammer stuff. Generally, I mean, I think they're very nice figures, but they're the pricing on that is too much for me. But I do like these easy to build kits. I mean, because they're kind of like a taster, and they're cheap and nice, and so you don't have to use them for what they're intended. I mean, obviously, making them part of a Sicilian campaign is a bit weird, but whatever, they're quite nice. And the other thing, it's not really an update because I haven't done them, but what I might as well show them is what I'm going to do next. Now I've got my World War II recon patrol thing at the point where I can have a little games with it, with the terrain and stuff. I've got some figures to go with that, for the infantry division recon early war. And so there's these German cavalry from Waterloo 1815. You get 2 sprues with 3 horses, 3 riders, and 3 figures on foot. Very nice. They look very nice. 172. Guy with a map, a guy just normal, and an officer with some binoculars. So, you know, they'd all very appropriate for scouting. You get 2 sprues like this. They are identical, which is you know, it's not a great sprue in terms of quantity or you know, variety, but it's good in other ways. Just because those 3 figures on horse, you know, they make a good command base, and then the foot figures are quite good for recon, and also got a nice can't see it very well, a nice anti-tank rifle. So you get 2 of those sprues. I mean, it's not a great set, I'd say, because you know, the number of figures is not that high, but anyway, I quite like it. And then on top of that, I've got a bunch of, I think these are from SHQ, a bunch of figures for the, you know, the cavalry bases, because oh, I don't know, it ain't there. Like, in my system, I'm going to be having 3 bases generally. I've got, and sort of, it's really more for symbolism than anything else, because I knew the infantry division had cavalry and pushbikes, and so I just got a few to see what they're like. But anyway, the point being, then next to be based up, or painted rather, so they can be added to my KFZ 13s for the World War II. And these are SHQ figures, so they're a little smaller than 172, or either that or they're correct and the other ones are too big. Either way, it won't matter so much, because they'll be on their bases until they dismount, and then when they dismount, they magically get bigger. I've also got some cyclists. There's well, I don't actually know anymore. There's I think there's a kind of a command officer team and a machine gun team to go with the previous set I bought, which is just rifles. So I'll just have one section of bicycles and I think 3 of horses. But we'll see when I've done. But anyway, that's the next plan, is painting all these up. So I don't actually need them, because we just have them on foot from the beginning. But I just OCD. Yeah, so that's the next plan, the World War II recon patrol with early World War II. That's in theory. In practice, it's still got some more training to do as well. But that's the next plan. And lastly, there's a few terrain bits that I did. Finish off these bases that I got ages ago for tank bases, which I thought were too big. Well, not too big. I think they were designed for 28mm, and my tanks are 20mm, so they're a little big for me. But it gave me the idea of using MDF bases for terrain. So I've already got 4 of those. So this makes 6. So I got, say, 6 of those tank bases ages ago. I'm just using them all for my you know, trench terrain. Obviously it's not exactly a trench, but it's good enough for me for various plans in the future. And also, yeah, I had a couple of these. I really like these. Again, I could make them probably by getting a base and just put some, you know, bit of stick or something there on the top for the barbed wire. But I quite like these Jarvis ones. It's so easy. You know, you get your you get your base with a couple of little with a couple of little sticks in front to for your defensive position. So 2 of those barbed wire things already, and 4 of the what's it. So now I've got that said, which will be useful for whenever I do some kind of assault type thing. The problem is that I ran out of wire, so I had, in theory, I had 6 of these to go with the 6 sandbag emplacements, but I ran out of wire, so I've got another 2 to finish. But you know, good fun. I think the thing with this about how to do terrain, and because there's various things you can get from the scenic, wooden scenics type place of pre-built terrain, and you know, I'd say the price is okay. I mean, if you've been a bit lazy, the price is okay. So, for example, I got a couple of these stone walls from that, just to see what they were like. You know, and they're good. You know, they're already painted, and they're a bit of flock on the bottom. So you know, these are nice little things. And you know, given how much you're going to need, I don't think the price is too much. But you know, if you enjoy making them yourself, then that's the bonus. You know, it's if you don't enjoy it, then I think it's a decent price. But if you like messing about with it, then go for it. So I think both are decent choices. So the point being, I need to get some more wire for the last one. Well, I say last now. It's I only decided to do 6. So I had 6 bases for the vehicle bases that I needed to use up. But yeah, it's okay. So it's a start. Well, you know, small table and all that. But anyway, that's I'm quite pleased with all that. Both in terms of using something that I had that wasn't useful and turning it into something useful. That's a bonus. And I like the look of them. I think it's a good deal. Oh yeah, and also the same thing with these, because you know, getting the sandbags from Wooden Scenics to go on the basis. So I think it's all a mixture of good fun and decent value. Yeah, I'm not sure there's anything more to say about that. So I think, you know, of the 3 ways to do it, you know, you can buy ready-made stuff from somewhere, you know, painted and flocked or whatever. You can half do it. You can get a kind of like half the stuff, like the base of these barbed wire. You know, and just paint them and put the wire on, half and half sort of thing. Or you can make it all yourself. And I think all 3 are worthwhile, or can be worthwhile, depending on, you know, how much you enjoy the DIY stuff and how much you have to do. Because like I say, you know, if I was making one of these walls DIY, you can do it. I've seen people do it, and it's good. And if you enjoy that, it's worth doing, I think. But if you needed like 6 of these, that's one thing. But if you needed 60, then I think I'll probably get bored. Because it's like the fun part of doing DIY. I think it's like the first time. You know, you make 1 or 2 walls, and that's good fun. But if you had to make 20, it starts to get a bit boring. And so it's like I wonder what the word is. It's you know, if you enjoy the crafting, then do the crafting. If you half enjoy it, then half do the crafting. And if you really don't, then say the stuff that you can get from places like Wooden Scenics is cheap enough. It's not cheap, but it's you know, cheap enough. Anyway, that's a bit of a ramble, really. But anyway, okay, to the bit.